Get to know the babes behind the brand as they talk business, women supporting women, and share what it's really like to work in the fashion industry.
Welcome back. This is Donnie. I am founder and creative director of Privilege.
Hey, it's Leah here. What is my title? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. What are you today? We were just talking about baby becoming a coder.
Oh, this is part of my bust. Operations manager.
And Kaitlyn, the communications manager.
Kaitlyn also changes her job title here and there.
Yeah,
It
often.
goes sometimes.
I think that goes with the role. So,
let's intro our guest and then we can move on with our Q&As here. So, this babe moved to LA to go to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, and her experience there ranged from working at a boutique in Beverly Hills, a trend forecasting company, and as Paula Abdul's personal assistant. Hold the commentary. I nerded out a little when I read it the first time. After moving back to Vancouver, she and her business partner realized that there was an opportunity in the Vancouver market for a new business that valued sustainability, interpersonal relationships, and luxury fashion. Mine and Yours Luxury Consignment was born. Since then, it has grown into a multi-million-dollar business with a strong kick-ass community of clients and employees. Welcome, Courtney Watkins of Mine and Yours.
Thank you. It's good to be out here.
Paula Abdul's personal assistant.
Yes.
That's a bossy title.
That was
so good.
That was an interesting experience.
I want to hear the high and the low from that one.
Oh gosh, it was a roller coaster, let's just say. You know, they say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't.
That's right. I hear
Your face is telling me a whole story right now.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. I learned a lot from it, but it wasn't exactly stable.
That's fair. I grew up a dancer, and so I have always been a big fan of her choreography. Like, I knew her from when I was a child.
Yeah. And it was like American Idol days when I was on there.
So very far after the
and
dancer days.
I was hired on as her stylist, but then ended up becoming her personal assistant. And that's probably not my forte is organization.
Everything we've already talked about in the last 10 minutes about like organization and how does your car look and kind of the personality of creatives.
Yeah.
I'm laughing a little bit.
I pulled it together and did it, but it wasn't, personal assistant isn't my.
It wasn't natural for you.
Yeah, definitely not.
Cool experience, and then you moved on.
Yes, exactly.
Imagine you just like hired a secret personal assistant for you being the personal assistant.
Oh, so it looks like you're the personal assistant.
You like
but
got
it's
an
really
intern to be like,
yeah.
get the coffee that you're supposed to get. And
That sounds like a great idea.
yeah,
That's a really, although I would excel at that job. I would excel at the actual personal assistant role.
I think we're living in a day and age where everyone's just going to start outsourcing their own jobs. Right?
I don't think I can outsource mine.
Imagine someone else is just sitting in the chair one day and you're at
Where's
home.
Leah? I'm Leah's proxy.
Leah's just making the net.
Okay, Donnie, kick us off with your boss or best.
Okay, so we have launched our PRIV Talks page finally, which is just very official for our podcast.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of been going through our Style for the PRIV website, and we finally have an official page. And we've had the Instagram for a while now, which is pretty exciting. But I feel like it's kind of like PRIV Talks is standing on its own, and it's
I really
official.
like to see it. I like to see that we're like taking it and making it its own thing. I love our PRIV Talks page. It's one of my favorites. And I love the new like web page.
I love that it's just like a nice source for all of our content as well, and you can play it while you shop on the site.
Yeah.
So
Did you code it?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah.
No, of course
Coded
I didn't.
in-house via BigCommerce.
When I say I take it as a boss, I completely delegated the whole task, and I just reviewed it
It's good.
with Hunter.
It's really it's really exciting. Okay, my bust ties perfectly with how I introduced myself. This year I've felt way more forgetful than usual, and I think it's a hormonal thing.
I was gonna say, but I didn't know if you wanted to mention that. But I'm like, that's hormonal. 100%.
It's fully hormonal. Like even me going, "Hey, it's Leah. What is my title?" And I forgot about. Okay, we were talking in the office about LA the other day, and the girls were like, "Oh yeah, the sushi we had in LA," and I was like, When did we have sushi?
Only like 100
Yeah.
times.
We talked about it the whole trip. We had it twice. And Leah's like, we didn't eat sushi. That didn't happen.
Do you remember those baked salmon rolls?
That's what we were talking
were
about.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I legitimately
Where
thought
did
it
you
did
guys
not
go?
happen.
We were staying at Level in downtown, and they had just an amazing sushi restaurant downstairs.
Yeah, it was really good. I didn't remember it happening until they reminded me. So I've just been really forgetful. I'm not forgetting tasks. I'm forgetting things.
You're forgetting things that have happened to you.
Yes.
And like conversations with Dan and
Oh, yeah. No,
I've been living in that. You know how many times I've asked myself in the last 7 years if I'm getting like early onset Alzheimer's?
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying.
Because it's like pregnancy, breastfeeding, like my hormones have been on a roller coaster for years. I'm not remembering anything.
I'm there with you apparently now, so I don't know what to do. If
Welcome
anyone,
to your 30s.
if someone listening
Yeah, I was
has
going to say, I'm
tips-
similar too,
Yeah.
and there's no babies and breastfeeding,
No,
so I
me
don't know what
neither.
okay.
So, okay, we need help. If someone listening can help us, please help us. Kate, what's your boss or bust?
I'm going to combine them. Boss, I got my own email.
So good.
Not Let's Chat.
You're welcome.
But it says Anishjon, one of our old tech guys. But it's my
Guys can only
face,
expect
and
so
then
much
it says
from
Anishjon.
I changed it though. Did it not work?
On
Anyone
my end,
who
it
has
says Anish,
previously
but
emailed her gets Anish John.
like Courtney's probably seen Anishjon.
Well, it's like
No,
how-
I saw your name.
Really?
Oh, good.
Okay, that's exciting.
Okay, because see, there you go. You're welcome again.
But I've had that
It's only
happen
people
before
that have
too, and
emailed before.
I don't know if there's a way to fix it.
I wonder, can we delete it and just like restart
No.
the whole thing?
I have no idea.
Donnie, do we look like techs?
Well, we're gonna be. Lee and I were just talking about taking a coding course.
I really want to take a coding course, but I probably won't remember it.
Well, if you guys figure that out, let me know, because
Yeah.
I have a couple old employees that come up on people's emails too.
Okay, Google. We need to podcast with Google,
Yeah.
and they can fix this for us. There's got to be a
Absolutely.
way.
We'd have so many questions for them.
So many questions.
I wouldn't be able to talk. I love Google people.
We're gonna do that. We manifested that for this year, so it's got to be
It's
on the
happening.
agenda.
Okay, Courtney, boss or bust?
Okay, so boss moment. I had a woman come in and sell us 15 Chanel bags over the last week.
Oh,
And so just to be able to actually buy that many, I got my first Chanel flag.
Oh my
And
gosh, she's
she's
so
beautiful.
pretty.
Beautiful.
Okay, she is
I love
gorgeous.
her.
Yeah, by that Aki right now.
No, this one's not for sale anymore. And also, she had been collecting Chanel's since she was 19 and
Oh, wow.
is putting all of the money towards a down payment on a house. So the
Wow.
fact that I got all these amazing bags and she's getting a down payment on the house, it was a great experience.
Talk about a smart investor, because she probably didn't lose money.
Well, because she's been collecting them for
That's
so
right.
long, and the
she
price
kept them in
of them.
great condition.
Yeah, she said she never really used them.
Oh, that's just so chic. I just forgot about these.
I just want to be her collecting all these bags.
Okay, so I love that story. Like, she sold all of these bags for a down payment.
I was
on a
like,
house.
why would you? I mean, I want them, so I don't want to convince you out of it. But honestly, they're all classic flaps. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you getting rid of these? And yeah, she's buying a house.
I would be that person. I'd be like, Kate, moving on, next phase, we're getting a house.
Okay, are these for sale online?
Yes, they are.
That was like the best plug
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
My boss is just this casual
And you
plug
can use the
for my
discount code
business.
Courtney10.
I'll ship for free if you buy
I don't know if they're moving pretty quick.
I bet
so
they
I was
are.
going to say, I don't know if I've seen them, and I stalk your site all the time.
They're not up yet.
Okay.
but they will be shortly if they don't.
If they
move
don't
on.
sell
Yeah,
first.
I'm literally going to make her log into the admin panel while she's here. And I want to see what she
You'll buy
has.
some. You'll buy some. Donnie, what's your weekly obsession?
Okay, I screenshotted this and I'm obviously not ready for this question. Okay, I have a screenshot. And I've kind of touched on this before, but okay, so this pops up as one of my articles. People who are always late are more likely to live longer and become more successful.
Yeah.
Just
Hold on
let
to
that sink in, people,
Yeah.
for a hot second. So then I'm like, I need to like understand this a little bit.
So in other words, I'm screwed.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
good for you.
screwed.
I'm screwed. There's no hope for me now.
Okay, so get this. So having a somewhat inexact sense of time can be linked to optimism, a type B personality, and a tendency to multitask both at home and at the office.
That is so true of you. I'm a strong type A.
Because I feel like it's very easily confused with me maybe being selfish or not putting other people ahead. But I think it actually comes from trying to put everybody ahead of myself sometimes and like commit to too much. But I just
And you
love
want to, like, you're in a meeting, you want to give that person your full focus. You're not thinking about the next person. You're like, I don't want to leave you. This is let's finish our meeting.
Absolutely.
Then you're like, oh, now I'm late for the next one. But you'll give them that same attention.
Yeah, because I think it's all very important. But
Yeah.
anyways,
That's great.
I just loved that. And I just, to all the late people out there, you're welcome.
Shout out to those late people. Okay. This is kind of fun for me. I love knowing more about myself and how I function and my personality. And something that's been kind of fun to follow lately is there's an Instagram account called Enneagram and Coffee. Have you guys heard of Enneagram?
Enneagram and coffee.
Okay. Okay. I have learned I'm an Enneagram type 1. And I thought this was so funny. It's called Unresearched Theories. They posted this a couple days ago. Totally unresearched. But it's 3 points that I think are really strong about me. One is maybe you feel really guilty for how often you're irritated by people. Sorry for everyone in the office. The second thing is maybe you've noticed every single typo that I've ever had. Mm-hmm. It's true. Hunter's nodding her head right now. And then the third one is maybe you want to be grateful for every gift someone gives you, but it's usually not exactly what you wanted. Every gift. I'm always like, cool. Ugh.
Okay.
Such a hard. This is like me. I'm like, oh, this is embarrassing, but they actually nailed it. They totally nailed.
But what is
points
it
about me? It's like a personality thing. Like you go on and you take this little quiz and it tells you what type you are.
Oh.
And they post on this account fun little snippets about your type.
Okay. I thought it was like a gift giving service or something. I was confused, and then I'm like trying to like manufacture that in my mind as you're talking.
Personality type. It's like a personality quiz.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a personality quiz about yourself. It's so
That's very,
cute
like, self
and fun.
Explorer.
Is it like that? Like there's like the 16 personalities?
Yeah,
like an
it's like-
ENFJ?
It's like that, but not. You know, it's a personality test. You get your type, but they post kind of funny things where you look at it and you're like, that's me. And it's kind of mean and true at the same time.
Okay, but doesn't that relatability, just knowing that kind of somebody understands you or there's other people like that, give you so much peace? I feel like those things in our personality, we beat ourselves up over. We're like, I need to change this, or I'm too this way or too that way. But if we just understand that that's inherently who we are,
I like having the understanding and accepting it, but I also am like, okay, I know I'm easily irritated at times or can find annoyances and things. Like that's something I work on.
Totally.
So it's like
Just helps with
educational
being
at
more
the same
self-aware.
time. Totally. I love learning about myself and how I function.
Also very 30 of you.
It's very 30 of me.
That's good.
Anyhow, everyone should go check out Enneagram and
I would be
Coffee.
curious to do
It's
it and like compare mine to yours and see how they.
total opposites.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Kate, what are you obsessed with?
I'm obsessed with Luna Bronze. We've had it
It's
in the
so
store for
good.
a while. It's
Yeah.
so good. I'm not tanned right now, but I used it the other day. And it's just instantly makes you feel better too when you're tanned.
It's just, I'm so not all about self tanners at all. I don't like the smell. I don't like the idea of putting chemicals on my skin. I don't like the color. I don't like how your elbows get a different color than the rest of your body. Like I just have failed at self tanner so many times, and Luna Bronze works. Like
Yeah, you
this
don't
is
get
not
the
a plug.
weird.
This is
Yeah,
we
you
do
don't get
sell
the
it,
weird.
yes.
Yeah, we sell it.
But this is not a plug. Literally, it works, and it's such
Yeah.
a pretty color.
It's a good color. It's like cruelty free, vegan. Like I don't feel like I'm drowning in chemicals or like a
It's
weird
not,
smell.
Like, it's not like seeping into our pores only to like hold on to it till the end of time. Like it's like a healthy product.
Hopefully it doesn't smell like the Jergens.
No, it
snack.
doesn't.
it
Not at all.
Smells nice.
What is it, like an orange?
It's like an orange blossom or something they
It's
call it. It actually
amazing.
smells like perfume. It smells so good.
I like highly recommend it, and they have a gradual one, like just a lotion that you can maintain, and then they have their actual applications, like a mousse.
Yeah, the mousse. It's so easy to put on.
And I'm like the quickest. Like I would be, and it turned out pretty good for me. I'm not wearing it right now.
Obviously.
Judge me.
I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, you should. Courtney, what's your obsession?
Mine is, I figured since I'm on a podcast, I'd go podcast theme. But pretty much anything from Gimlet podcasts. But there's a new one called Without Fail. It's just about businesses, whether they're starting up and had like a big failure or did something amazing. But it's pretty interesting.
Oh, that's cool. We're gonna check
I'm gonna
those
check
out.
that out.
Yeah. Donnie, your boss babe crush.
I'm using my team, and I realize this might be a little out of date by the time it comes out, but we just totally pulled off a kick-ass warehouse sale online, which we've never done before. And my sister said to me on the weekend, she goes, why did we ever do warehouse sales? Like, why did we ever like load everything in a U-Haul out to a sale, staff it up, only to bring it back and put it in, you know, we had the sale go through all of our stores and online. And I feel like it was a bit of everybody's effort on the team, not a bit, a lot. And it was wildly successful. And I just think it was a great collaborative effort. So Boss Babes are the girls that sit with me at the table every day.
And the ones hustling on the sales floor.
And the ones hustling on the sales floor. Those girls
They do such a good job.
have killed it. Like truly, like people lined up at the till.
Yeah. And our customers are so great.
Yeah. And sometimes I think also when you're doing like such a sale like that where things are below cost, right? That can translate to customer service. They're like, just buy it. It's a good deal. But those girls are selling and, you know, treating customers with respect. And
They don't just want you to buy something to buy it. They want you to get the right thing.
Yeah. And they're not like, they're not shrugging it off. So I think across everywhere, I'm really proud of how it rolled out.
Yeah. Agreed.
What about you?
My boss babe crush is a woman named Marissa. She just started a company in Vancouver called Eat the Dishes. Has anyone heard of this?
Eat the dishes?
Eat the Dishes.
I thought we were eating the frog.
Different
That too.
thing. This is literal food. So her concept was that she worked for an international airline and sampled food in all 5 continents. I'm reading like a little bio of hers. And she didn't love that she was throwing away plastic, styrofoam, and cardboard every time she's eating this new food. So she came back and started this company. I'll show you guys a photo of what it looks like. So it's literally a dish that you can eat. So it's like soup in like a pizza dough cup.
Interesting.
It's not served. You don't get a spoon with it. You like drink your soup and eat the cup at the same time.
That's brilliant.
And
Now I'm
it's
understanding
so
the
smart.
name.
Okay.
You literally eat your dishes, and it's so clever. She does sweet ones and she does savory ones. So there's like
Does
a
she
soup.
sell them to restaurants?
No, I think she's doing a truck. Yeah, it looks like there's a truck.
That's
So
really
there's
smart.
a food truck in Vancouver, and I've
So
heard
environmental.
a few people talk about it and review the foods that she's doing, and they say it's really delicious, like a vegan squash or pumpkin soup in this cup with toasted pumpkin seeds and a coconut milk drizzle or whatever, like really good food. So I think that's brilliant.
That's really up your alley.
Totally up my alley.
That's so like this is a huge problem. Are like disposable. Look at the straw thing, right?
Yeah.
like that is a huge problem. Like,
Well, and food trucks in Vancouver are huge. They're everywhere, and they're so popular. I've eaten at many this month alone. Okay, well, it's maybe not this month yet, but last month.
like okay, I love that it's a food truck, but think about just the opportunities for that concept
She could maybe make dishes for other trucks.
and sell them to other restaurants or to
Totally.
people or at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like if you're
I think
serving,
she has a beautiful concept.
that's a really good concept.
Yeah.
Eat the
So-
fork. Could just imagine you like have the fork and then you just like eat the fork.
Oh yeah.
Eat your food before the fork dissolves.
You have to eat quick.
Oh, yeah. Who's your boss babe crush, Kaitlyn?
I'm gonna use her name's Carly Bardero. She owns Marina Swim, which is like a local swimwear company. I went to school with her, and she started her whole company off a school project and just went with
Marina
it.
Swim.
Marina Swim. We can link it. The swimwear is such good quality, and it's like a fairly good price point. I think I just picked up a bathing suit from her, and it was $70 for both pieces.
That's good.
Yeah, and it's made locally. The girl that does all the cutting and fitting is a Kaitlyn student as well that she just found at school to make everything for her. And when this airs, she'll be doing a pop-up downtown that week. So you can go in and try on all her stuff, and it's just such good quality. And I hate buying bathing suits, but like hers have a good fit. They're flattering. They're thick. It's not like that thin material. Like I've bought Zaful bikinis, and they're just like bad quality, but
And she's
Yeah.
local.
and she's local, which is cool.
Well,
And she
I
makes
think-
everything in
okay,
Vancouver.
so we've like all seen the trend of all these Instagram. You guys have seen the orders come in. I've ordered. I've got sucked into those Instagram bikini purchases
I
too,
used
right?
to have like a bikini online ordering obsession.
Because they're so cheap that you're like, well, whatever.
And then like 1 out of 5 works out, but it's still only like $30 a bathing suit.
Yeah.
and it comes like 4 months after you order it.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, they don't fit the best for sure. But
No.
they're capturing trends that are comparable at like $170 a set, right? Like L Space or whatever, which are great. It's hard to find the in between, right? Like
It
a
is.
well-made
Like,
product.
You either spend like $100 on a bathing suit, or I've ordered the Zaful ones where it's like $10 a piece, and they're just not.
Yeah, I finally stopped ordering them because they would just come in and it's so many bad to one good.
Yeah, it's so hard.
And especially that you're a company and you are conscious of waste. You're like,
Yeah, I'm like,
how do you
I feel
stomach that?
bad. Like I'm donating it to someone, but it fits so bad, no one's going to wear it.
It's a compounded problem. And we'll get into that after.
And I think
We'll
my
talk
staff
more
is
about
happy that I don't have packages of bikinis coming to the back room all the time anymore.
It's like a thing. Lately, it's been Amazon for me.
all the Amazon ever.
Because I've been like doing home improvement stuff, right? So I've like done my pantry and I've all these like little containers coming. I've been trying to make my pantry like Khloe Kardashian's. It's very difficult. It's like really not happening.
Organization.
That should be my one thing I'm working on improving. You know why? Because I have all these like wonderful containers, like these acrylic storage containers, which are great, but they are quite expensive. So the quantity that you need is like it's quite an investment. But how much dry storage do you use? Like I know you, Leah, it's all in your fridge. It's fresh food that you're buying.
All in my fridge. The cupboard that I have for dry food, I'm not even exaggerating, is probably 2 feet, and it's just one shelf.
The way I cook and the way we eat is the same way. Like we don't really have I don't really use canned goods. I might have some for like an earthquake, right? But I don't really. So I'm like, now I have my pantry and I'm like, I need stuff to put in here. And I don't really want all that stuff that I'm putting in here. So it wasn't very well thought out, but
it'll look really good.
It'll look really good. But I'm like, Khloe Kardashian posted a picture of her pantry recently and she had like, it looked amazing. There was like all the cereals and like I was like, oh, I want that to be my pantry. But I'm like, really? Like, do I want my kids eating Fruit Loops and this all the time? And if it's there, you'll consume it. But if it's not there, you won't.
That's so true.
I've been juggling with this all week, guys.
I
So
can
glad
tell,
I got
but
that
I like
out.
where your thoughts are going.
Yeah. So, but I've already like Amazon the crap out of these like acrylic containers and it's like very cute. And I have all these glass jars so I can put like all my baking ingredients in these glass jars.
That's great.
But I just don't need it. I don't
Did
really
you
need any of it.
mention you're prepared for an earthquake?
Okay. I have like 4 canned things.
Okay.
And they're like all chickpeas.
I think I have 1 can of beans. That's it. We're not surviving an earthquake, me and Dan.
Yeah, I actually think maybe that's what I could do on one of my pantry walls. Maybe it'll just be like an earthquake. Like bottles of water.
My apartment has very limited food in there.
Yeah, I'd
are
be like,
all
what?
screwed.
Or it's like all one type of food. Like, what are we gonna do?
Seaweed.
Yeah.
I'm going to live on seaweed snacks.
Yeah, I have these like
I
lemon
think they
protein
can sustain you
bars.
for a while, few days. Courtney,
Fishy crackers.
who's your boss babe crush?
Mine would be, I'm going to go with Cara Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just her Instagram alone is like absolutely beautiful. And we work with her a little bit. She sells to us. And I find sometimes like influencers, especially with, like 300,000-400,000 followers can.
Was she the one who just brought you the Chanel's?
No. But sometimes can be like very expecting of things and not that nice. And she's just like the sweetest human being as well.
That's amazing.
She's
I love
lovely.
seeing
She's
that.
been on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really close to Miriam, who's like my good friend.
Yes.
Yeah, no, she's like a lovely human.
And that hair.
Yeah.
How? Like, how is it
Crazy.
How is it so amazing? And always like her pictures, she just captures this like effortless beauty.
That's amazing. Yeah, she does have great hair. Donnie, what's one thing you're working on improving this week?
Well, I just got a DHL Express notification that I'm getting another delivery today of either Amazon or Bikini, probably. Actually, like aside from like all of that home improvement stuff that I've been working on, one thing I'm working on is like when I'm not working. Like I'm mentally invested all the time. And it's so easy when you have kids and so you work from home sometimes you're kind of always on the clock. Like I'm always thinking about it or checking my email or on my phone. I'm really working on kind of compartmentalizing that, like scheduling time. And then when I'm not, and it seems simple. It seems like something we talk about all the time, but it's really something I need to work on, being present.
That's great.
What about you?
Something I shared a while ago on the podcast was that I was building out a little reading space for myself, just an intentional space where I could go read. And actually, the past few days, I have been really working on having like a morning quiet time so I don't feel like I get up and just rush into work. Although it was just the weekend, so that's not as applicable, but I did it this morning. I got up maybe 20 minutes earlier and my window looks out east, so I see the sun come up over Mount Baker. It's very beautiful.
Sounds
So
terrible.
it was awful. So I had like my cup of coffee and read for like 20 minutes and watched the sunrise. And I was like, why don't I do this every day? It was such a great way to start the day and feel like I wasn't just getting up and rushing somewhere. So, yeah, that's what I'm not necessarily improving something, but maybe I'm going to try and do that more this week. Even if
It's
I do
so
it like every
good.
second day.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
win.
I really enjoy that time in the mornings too. And I've not always been a morning person. And I think it's a challenge for me sometimes. Like I have to like literally set my alarm and be like, I'm getting up.
Yeah.
But that peace and quiet and like creating that like almost meditative state in the morning is like, my days are 100% better when I start out like that.
Yeah. And instead of just like getting up and rushing into something where I think that then it can feel like you don't have life or anything else. You're just like rushing all day.
You're
so
chasing right off the
Yeah.
get-go.
Yeah, so it felt really nice. And I today came in and was like, okay, I'm ready to get to work. There's no distractions. I'm just mentally ready to go. But who knows? I could be forgetting half the things I was supposed to do.
I wasn't like up early this morning like I usually am. And I just do not like starting the day like that, especially when
You feel
at
behind.
like 7 o'clock, I'm making lunches, getting the kids ready.
Yeah.
That already is a chaotic
Yeah.
moment. Like I need to like have myself like ready for that. And it just makes such a difference.
Yeah, makes a huge difference. I feel good today, but I'm forgetting things, so that's fine.
I wish I could be a morning person.
Oh.
It's just not
It'll
who I
come.
am.
You can train yourself 15 minutes
Trying.
earlier.
I'm trying.
I wasn't in my 20s at all. Like truthfully, like ever. I was like, I'll never be. I'm way more a night owl naturally. But it's something I think with age that I'm, I've like learned about myself. So you have a lot of time, Kate, is what
Good. I'm
trying
glad.
to say.
Perfect.
What's one thing you're working on improving, Kate?
I've been spring cleaning my closet. I've like been selling stuff on bidding wars, consignment stores because I am a spender. I shop way too much, and then I end up with all this stuff in my closet where I'm like, wore it for a season, will never touch it again, but it's like still really good quality and in good shape because I don't like trash my clothes or anything like that. So I'm trying to just get rid of things instead of holding on to them.
Have you seen the Marie Kondo
I actually
Netflix?
haven't even watched it. I feel like I should, but then I might go like a little bit crazy because my closet's actually a little empty right now because I took it way too far. And my mom was like, "What are you doing? Now you have like 5 shirts."
You got rid of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Okay,
don't
too
watch
far
it.
the
Maybe
other
don't
way.
watch it then. You're gonna end
I'm
up
an
with only
extreme
2
person,
things.
one or the other.
I'm with you, Kate. You and I are so similar. If I get on the bandwagon of something, I'm like, get rid of everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
and I
right,
started
need
going
stuff.
through my mom's closet, and she's like, "What are you doing? This is not yours." But
It feels so good.
so good.
But then I'm so guilty. Like I'll just load up at the store after. Like I'll be like, okay, I need it. But realistically, I want the new. Like this is the space I work in. Like I'm not really wearing stuff as terrible as it sounds from like 2 years ago, unless it was like a piece, like an investment piece.
Yeah.
But realistically, my day to day, it's like you kind of want the freshest.
Well, you're promoting
the
your
fresh-
company as well
absolutely.
when you wear it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Courtney, what's one thing you're working on improving?
So mine's similar to yours. Mine is no more snoozing. So when I love sleep.
It's so hard.
So when my alarm goes off, just like getting up. So yeah, I have that extra time in the morning rather than snoozing until the very last minute. So I'm like doing my makeup in the car,
I'm
which
so
I just
guilty
did
of
my
that.
makeup in the car outside.
My
before.
makeup just stays in my car.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
So hard, but that's such a good habit because the snooze is your enemy.
It is. And sometimes it goes off every 8 or 9 minutes on an
Yeah.
iPhone. I'll do it for like an hour.
Oh,
I'm not
same.
even
There's no
getting
quality.
sleep.
There's
yeah.
no quality sleep there. There's no REM. There's just insanity. I do
And
it.
I think
I'm
9
so
minutes to
guilty.
snooze is too long. I feel like it needs to be every 4 minutes. So you're like,
Oh, what if you can change the
Can
setting?
you change it?
you can probably change
Yeah.
it.
Someone needs to show me how. I'll Google how. Never mind.
We should all do it after.
Yeah.
I think so because 9 is too long. 4 minutes would make me like you would just start dozing off, and I'd be like, okay, fine, I'll get up.
I need that alarm clock. That's like the floor thing. So you
Yeah,
actually
that you have to get up.
put
yeah.
your feet on it to turn it off.
Because I don't even press snooze. I just have an alarm set for every like half hour. So I start waking up at like 6, and then I'm out of bed at 7:30.
What I have too that I really like is a light alarm clock.
Oh yeah.
So
that helps a lot.
Yeah, it goes just like really, really bright, and then it's kind of like the sun.
Or those diffuser ones.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh,
of
what's
those.
Where
that?
do you get those?
Sage
has one.
Yeah, like so it starts like like that's actually. I think I might buy that.
Yeah, the smell.
Oh, that's
citrus could
yeah.
wake you. Yeah.
Like that's a good way to wake up. Oh, Okay, you know how I woke up the other morning? Speaking of which, Ev dropped a Tom Ford cologne on the floor. Smash everywhere. It's not cheap cologne either. But the powerful scent that like continued. I'm trying to sleep. It was like a Saturday morning. And it was so powerful, and it just doesn't go away. It's like in the tile. It's
So it was
everywhere.
like a homemade diffuser alarm clock.
It was so, I tried to sleep, and I did for like an hour or two, because he got up for early hockey with Elias. It was like 6 a.m. And it was so powerful. I've never smelled something so pungent after, like, I was like, I can't even. I had a headache. It was crazy.
Okay, Courtney, let's talk about you and your business. Tell us a
Amazing.
little bit about how you got started and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I used to live in LA, and they had a lot of these curated buy sell trade stores. And when we moved back to Vancouver, we just realized there was a gap in the market. So there was consignment stores and secondhand stores, but they were kind of that, your grandma's consignment store. And there just wasn't anything that went in and had a bit of a luxury feel to it. So I met my business partner, and we had the idea, and 6 months later we opened our first Mine and Yours, and started really small too. It was a live work townhouse. It was just 300 square feet in the bottom. And then from there we just grew, and then we took 2 levels of a townhouse, and now we have like a 1,200 square foot downtown location, which we've grown out of again.
That's amazing. And I love what it talks about in the bio that we found about you, about sustainability, and not just that end, but the relationships that come with it, because your customers would be returning customers.
Yeah, and we say we want to make it an experience like it's like your best friend's closet.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of customers that come in, and they're coming in every week because we're always getting new things. So we're really like building that relationship with the customers. And also just we're starting to see more and more people care about the sustainability of it. And we know fashion is one of the worst polluting industries. So to be able to like consume luxury goods, but not feel as bad about it.
Yeah. There's some unpleasant stats about fashion, and we are definitely conscious of that too.
It bothers me. It definitely is something that, I mean, we see it every day, right? We see like the power of like the sheer magnitude of quantities that are going in and out.
Yeah, we definitely have adjusted some things based on that, but we want to talk more about you. So was that something that was of interest to you before your store, or is it kind of something that you had seen in LA and then you thought it could work here and then developed more?
Yeah, I wasn't a big secondhand shopper, but funny enough, my college roommate was obsessed with secondhand and always like finding the good deals. And I never really liked it because of that, like the smell and the experience, and it was like too much of a dig. So I wasn't, before I started my store, I didn't really shop secondhand that much. But once you get started and you start seeing what you can get, you're paying Zara prices, but getting designer things, then it, makes it hard to
Justify. Yeah.
I've always been, had the priority of quality fabrics, and that was how my mom raised me. And that's what I appreciate about what you're doing, is that you're getting, like you said, something that is a way better price, but it's maybe pre-loved a little, but probably isn't showing strong signs of wear, but you're getting a way, way better quality and something that you can keep in your closet for years.
Yeah. And a lot of things are coming in with, tags on them. We all know we buy those, we have those purchases that we made that we thought we were going to love and wear, and we just skip through it all of the time when we're looking into our closet. So being able to even just like trade that in for something that you're going to wear.
Like on both sides of it. Yeah. Not just for the purchaser, but for the seller.
Yeah.
Right. Offering that solution. Cause I get like I feel really guilty sometimes when I go through my closets. I see tags on things that I've had for 6 months or a year. And I'm like, I just haven't worn it. I just never found a place for it in my wardrobe. But I don't want to be wasteful. And it might be too much of an investment piece to either donate or give away. Like you want it to find a home. Like that home isn't necessarily at a thrift shop or whatever, right?
Yeah, and I find a lot of people coming to sell to me too. Like they're like excited for their product to find a new home. They're like, oh, I hope someone else loves it. You know?
Because there was value there.
It's probably not even about them getting money for it. It's probably more about exactly that, because you could donate it anywhere and we'd all be fine with that. But then you're like, oh, they're going to sell it for like $12.
And people won't appreciate it.
Yeah. It's nice to know that you've invested in something quality and it can be passed on and someone else will appreciate and enjoy it.
And a lot of it is closet space too,
Oh, yeah.
especially being, downtown. Everyone's closets are, not that large. So just being able to, as you're shopping, if you're bringing more things into the closet, things need to start coming out.
Yeah, the theme of minimalism is like trickling through every industry. People want better, but they want less.
Yeah.
So I think it is. I think the conscious part of finding a home, like I relate to that feeling more than the financial part of it even. But I mean, also that story about the woman selling her Chanel's to get a down payment for a house, which is a huge investment, is so awesome.
And it doesn't usually happen that way. Like usually when you sell clothes, like you are losing money on them, because we're selling them 60 to 80% off and you're just getting
Chanel
a percentage
is
of that.
a bit of a difference story.
Chanel is the one that actually can be an investment.
But so exciting for the buyers too. I'm like, oh my God, I want to go shop those.
I know. I really want to visit your store. How do you communicate the importance of shopping secondhand to your customers?
I actually don't feel like we're having to communicate that. We're kind of we're communicating we have amazing items at good deals, and then just the trend of sustainability is starting to be a factor of that.
And that's what I love, is that it's not even something you have to market anymore.
Yeah,
People will find you.
People used to actually, I think you touched on this just briefly before, but I used to have the same feeling as you going into a secondhand store. Like I've always wanted to find and dig for those deals and the cool pieces, but the smell and whatever, it hasn't been a pleasant shopping experience. So I think that now, because sustainability is taking a forefront, people are more appreciative of going and having a look through places. But then you've taken it to the next level and it's actually a clean, beautiful, bright store that's really welcoming.
And I find even over the last 6 years that we've been in business, clients that used to just sell to us and like would never shop secondhand, and it was almost like we were their dirty little secret, like, oh, don't tell people you're selling my stuff, are now in the store shopping, posting photos on their social media that they're buying things secondhand, where
That's
5 years
amazing.
ago,
Yeah.
they didn't want people to know.
That is so cool.
That's a really good point.
And what a shift in the market.
Yeah,
That's
it's
huge.
like the trendy, cool thing now to shop secondhand. Because I was the same way before. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to.
I think we just care. Like we care about
Yeah.
the environment. We care about
Yeah, it means
how we spend our money.
Yeah, it means you're being smart with money and you care about the environment. So now it's getting cooler and cooler, which is great for me.
Yeah, it's great for you.
It's so great for you. You came into it just
Thank you,
kind
Marie
of
Kondo.
Yes, exactly.
You came into it before there was just that shift. It was such perfect timing. But I feel like you've also taken it and made it something that's actually fun and exciting.
Well,
Instead
thank you.
of boring and
Yeah,
smelly.
that was our plan.
Can we for a second shift gears and can you tell me what you're wearing?
Yeah, it's a beautiful jumpsuit.
So
It is
freaking
beautiful.
cute.
From my store, of course, I think it's Cameo.
It's so pretty.
It's really pretty.
I'm coming shopping.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
definitely coming shopping, and I'm definitely gonna bring some things also.
I'm bringing nothing except for buying. Yeah, definitely.
We'll do a wine night at the store.
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
love
Fun.
it. Yeah, that's fun. And your previous experience that we touched on, like we talked about this a little bit before we even got to recording, but I love how you talked about that experience still being applicable. So can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So right before I opened mine and yours, I had moved back to Vancouver to take over my family business, which is a sawmill. So a cedar shake and shingle mill out in Maple Ridge.
Okay. What?
So that's what I was doing.
Like,
that for
couldn't be further from what you're doing.
very, very different industries. But I learned how to run a business. So it was very transferable. And while it wasn't a glamorous job at all, or necessarily, what I was passionate about, it definitely gave me the experience that I could take and then apply it to mine and yours.
Okay, but also interjecting there, even in this industry that sounds so glamorous, I think one of the reasons we started the podcast was to share what it's really like. Like, it really isn't glamorous behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was just talking about that too. I was like, sometimes I'm doing a photo shoot with Chanel bags, but sometimes I'm like cleaning shoe gunk off of a shoe or
exactly. Or sometimes we're unpacking, boxes of things that like literally you're like, burn this, don't show anyone. This is not representative of us at all. Like, there's a lot of unglamorous. Unglamorous, that's not a word. Or is it?
We'll use it anyhow.
Yeah, it's
I think it works.
And I love what you say about taking your experience from somewhere that seems not relevant and applying it here, because I think that so often we can feel frustrated with where we're at, and especially young people. I know that there's a bit of that sense of you can be like Instagram famous or things should happen really quickly for you. But that's not always the case. You might have to go through different spaces in your 20s and 30s even before you really discover your niche and what you're good at, and before you land in the space where you want to be. Like, just because you're not there now doesn't mean you won't be later, but you can still be learning something relevant.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't the happiest and the most excited when I was in that role. But now looking back at it, I'm like, I couldn't be doing what I did if I didn't have that experience.
And I think that's something that is hard to find when you're in it, but hopefully someone listening that is there right now, like, hold out, just find something great about what you're doing right now and take it as a learning opportunity.
It's education.
Yeah.
Because I have to ask you, if you had to compare the education you got there at the sawmill versus, the LA educational experience, what was more beneficial?
I mean, I don't even really remember what I learned in school.
I don't remember at all what I learned in school, except for failing calculus 4 times. Like, that was hard.
I went to fashion school, so luckily there was no calculus happening.
I went to business school. Like, you would think that there was a ton of relevant information. And truthfully, I do not reference hardly anything of what I've learned. I'm sure there's a lot of like passive knowledge that I just know because of being there. But I'm like, why didn't they teach me more about corporate taxes, how to file my taxes, how to find an accountant? I don't need to be the accountant. What I need to do to, hire and find help and fire and employee agreements and the things that I really should have been taught.
Yeah, even at school, I found I learned more. I did a ton of internships, and I found that was more relevant experience and memorable than in school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, actually, a lot of our staff have come from being interns.
I have Hunter, Allie.
Yeah.
A lot of mine have too.
Yeah,
Being an intern shows something really key about your personality that is like the number one thing I look for, which is willingness. Mm-hmm. If you're not really willing, I'm not really interested. So, and that's the truest way to find if someone is willing, is like if they're interning. Mm-hmm. Well, they really want to be there. Mm-hmm. They're not there because of the wage or because of this, which just can blur the lines sometimes, right? I'm not saying that isn't important. Most of our interns have turned into real positions. Mm-hmm. So some that didn't even exist before.
I made my own.
Yeah, you did.
And changes the name whenever she wants to.
Yep. At least she remembers hers.
Yeah, coming from me, who called myself the co-founder.
Oh, I know. Oh, goodness. Gag reel coming up here, people.
We need all the outtakes.
We do. Dan will put those together for us. I love this topic because I work with a lot of young people, and I've interviewed a lot too, and I find that I can't generalize, but I do find that there's a lack of a grit sometimes. And I'm like, I want to teach you that. I want you to know the purpose and the benefit and the value of having grit and figuring things out and sticking with something and taking what you can from it and learning what you can and just like being a sponge and asking lots of questions.
Yeah. Being on the journey, like really being present for the journey. When we're like, oh, we're not there yet. That's one of the things that you said. Mm-hmm. Who's there? Like, who of you that you think of that is someone you look up to is there on their journey, that has completed the journey and is like, okay, here you go. Okay, Kris Jenner, maybe. Like, she's there. She's figured it out. But really, it's just an ongoing journey no matter what. Even when we get there, there's somewhere else we want to be.
Totally. And that's actually a great segue. Courtney, what's coming up with you in the next few months?
So we, as I mentioned, growing out of our location, we are doing a South Granville pop-up. I don't have the location secured yet, but I have one I want. So that'll be sometime this summer. And then we're also just launching a YouTube series, Hustle and Handbags.
Oh my God, fun.
And it's just going into some of our clients' closets and houses and getting a kind of behind the scenes look.
That's brilliant.
That is
exciting.
cool.
Yeah, it'll
okay,
be
where
really
is that going to
fun.
be?
We'll launch it through our Instagram.
On Instagram.
But someone told me I should
Amazing.
talk to you, Donnie.
I was like, oh my God.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I'm interested.
Okay,
I also
amazing.
think that we should, I'm just manifesting this right now. I think we should do a pop-up. Like, I think you should come and pop up.
Yeah,
That would be
Here.
so
That would be
yeah,
really
I would love
cute.
to do that.
Let's
Here,
do
like you could
it.
pop up right here. We could have an event, and why not? I know that my customers would love.
Oh my
what
God,
you're-
that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Let's do that.
Yeah, we
Look
have
at
we have
this,
enough
collaborating.
product, so
Yeah. And South Granville, you said, how long will that be for?
I want to do a couple months in the summer.
Amazing. I'm down for all of this. I really want to go check it out. Do you find that you have different styles coming in at different times, or is it quite seasonal?
So we do buy pretty seasonal. So right
That's
now
good.
we are buying for spring, summer. And
Okay.
I mean, we do have some winter jackets, but they are all on sale.
We should totally do that YouTube thing.
Okay,
I'm into
perfect.
it. You should see my closet right now. I'm like halfway. I know this was one of my
I
goals
would
in one of the
believe
recent podcasts was to really finish my closet because I've moved and I'm 80%.
Okay,
but
well now
I'm
we'll
not
give
quite
you a
there.
deadline. We'll pick
That-
a date.
That's what I need.
Yes,
is a
yeah,
deadline because then I'll finish.
I work well under pressure too.
Yeah.
Oh, same. Total deadline. So what do you have in store? I guess we're going to be coming out in the next few weeks here, but what are some of your favorite pieces you have right now?
We got a couple Zimmerman pieces in, which is one of my
cool.
favorite brands that we
Yeah,
don't
love
get
it.
in very much. And then I love some of the Australian brands, some of
Yeah.
the more mid price point, and really anything Gucci is
Yeah,
very
so hot.
I love and so popular.
I'm probably in the store for 5 seconds.
Those Gucci GG belts are in and out.
I'm gonna.
Wow, I'm surprised someone even took that in. That's so current.
Yeah, we get lots. I got the
You email me when you get one.
Okay, I can do that.
I'm gonna just text her after this, and you're gonna text me the Chanel bags, and you're gonna text me those Zimmerman dresses.
Well, we have a
actually.
wish list as well. So
Oh,
if there's
cool.
something that you're really a product that you're coveting, you can let us know, and then we'll text you when we get it in.
That is a great service. So does someone go online or they have to call you for that?
Yeah, you can go online, or
Cool.
you can even DM us through Instagram.
Oh,
I
love
would rather
that.
just text you at all hours of the
Okay,
day.
or you can just
or
text
night.
me at all hours of the day. Not everybody, though.
My favorite is 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I really find out who's invested when I really challenge them.
Oh, it's probably not me. I turn my phone off.
I know you're gone on the weekends. I don't even try.
I know
We
sometimes I
respect
forget that
We've
rule
learned
of
that.
employees and when you're allowed to message them. It's
I try
something comes in my head at 11.
I will only do it if it's really something time sensitive and important. And I'm always starting it with I'm really sorry for messaging you. Sometimes it's important, but I did it to Carly a couple weeks ago.
I'm never offended to get the message, but I think because I turn my phone off quite often if I'm having personal time,
Yeah.
I won't get it till way later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope this wasn't urgent. Text me anytime, but I may not reply right away.
And that's fair.
What has that done for your life? Do you feel like that's been such a positive move for you? I'd like to reflect on that.
I honestly don't think it was even a move. It's just been something I've always done. I don't check Instagram that often,
Yeah.
as you all know from how often I post. I turn my phone off if we have family time. It's in my bag off to the side if I'm having dinner.
I love that.
I'm a very happy person.
I think that's kind of what I want to work on. I think that you already have such peace of mind. You're a very stable overall.
No,
I
I'm
think
pretty
I'm
emotional
pretty
sometimes.
good with it, but when I hang out with my family, they're like, "Can you get off your phone?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, am I being rude?"
Whoops.
I'm so sorry. It's just everything that's on my phone is more interesting than what's in front of me right now. Boom.
Truth bomb.
I'm working. I'm working.
That's so funny.
But I actually was I checked my Instagram screen time. What do you guys what is your approximate? What's your regular?
Oh. Can I look it up right now?
Yeah, I just want to see. I'm just curious.
I think
Hey,
I'm
it's
an
in
hour.
settings, right?
Mine was 40 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
And Ev was like, show me right now. I want to see what it is. And then he's like, oh, that's actually not that bad. So I was like, oh, okay.
I use it as a messaging. I message with friends
Yeah.
on it. Work, my personal Instagram, work Instagram, 1 hour a day. I mean, it's It's
I
not
think
a
if
little amount of time, but
Mine's about an hour a day.
okay.
Okay. So
Good, I feel good then.
Pretty good then. 40
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm surprised yours is that low though, because you get a lot of like texts and phone calls and stuff.
Yeah, no. Sorry, my Instagram. Your
Mine is an hour total.
No, my Instagram was
Yeah,
40
yeah,
minutes.
me too.
My Instagram. What's yours?
I don't
wanna
want total phone
I don't
time.
want to say mine. I do engagement on all the accounts.
Oh,
true.
yeah.
That's
It's
okay,
at 5
though.
hours.
You're getting paid for that. Okay. Yeah, you need to prove it. And I want to know that
5
there's-
hours, 14 minutes.
Oh
a
my
day.
gosh, no,
Yeah.
On
I'm an
Instagram
hour
or screen
of-
time?
Screen
That's
time,
really
social
good.
networking.
Yeah.
I'm
is
an
like
hour
3.
of
wow,
phone
yeah.
time, everything included.
That's really good. Wow. I'm
Thank you.
definitely
Yeah.
I'm definitely probably at like 19 hours. I'm like always on my phone.
That's why when you said an hour, I was like, oh, I'm surprised we're the same.
So Elliot, my daughter, she's 1.5. She's at this stage where she copies everybody. And little things, like she stopped in the middle of the street the other day to tie her shoes. She was wearing rubber boots, and she gets down and she's just like she sees the rest of us tie our shoes, and she's just doing as we do with her boots. It's the
so
cutest
cute.
thing. And she found this iPod around the house, and she carries it around like her phone, and she puts it in her shopping cart with her thing, and then she like picks it up. She's totally replicating, but the phone, she carries it all the time, and then she lifts it up and she goes, shh. She's trying to say cheese, like take pictures. And then she'll go and show you. She's like, look. She's totally copying as she sees me with my phone. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's
a little
though.
a mirror.
adorable.
That's really cute.
It's so adorable, but I'm like really like, okay, my phone is in my hand. This is what she's seeing because she's constantly holding this iPod. That's crazy.
It's so funny. Okay, what a tangent.
This is a good one though. You're welcome.
Really good tangent. Courtney, something that we love to ask all of our guests to share is a piece of advice or a mantra that you're living your life by.
Yeah, mine is just happiness is a choice. Just kind of remembering that.
I believe that.
I like it. That's really good.
And I think it takes way more energy to not be happy. Like naturally, I think we are like happy individuals.
Yeah, and it can just be mindset.
Yeah, mindset or like stewing on a negative thought or, you know, focusing ultra on that.
I like
that.
it. Tell our listeners where they can find you online.
Yeah, so our Instagram is at mine and yours co, and then our website is mineandyours.com.
And let's also maybe share the address for our listeners that are local.
Definitely 1025 Howe Street in downtown Vancouver.
Amazing. Well, I love having you on. This was so good.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was so
talking
nice
about
to
all
meet
things secondhand.
everyone. I feel like we have a ton of mutual friends, and I've heard great things about all you girls. So it's nice to finally put faces to the names and the podcast.
Yay. And thanks for being with us,
coming.
Courtney. So remember to follow us on social, also at Style for the Priv and Priv Talks podcast. You can subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can shop our website with the code Priv Talks for 20% off. And we also have our amazing Facebook group that some really exciting things are happening. And there might be some of Donnie's clothes in there.
Actually, I'm surprised this never came up on the podcast, but yeah, this past week, I just took pictures in my closet of things like batch 1 of 5,000.
Like beautiful clothing, some
like,
with tags on.
And I was like, oh yeah, many with tags on. And I was like, who wants it? Like DM me if you want it. And I think I sold like all of it.
All of it,
think
yeah.
you did.
So you need
if
to
you
make
want
it in the
to
group.
buy my clothes, you can
Yeah.
join the group or you can go to mine and yours.
Yeah, either way. Okay, thanks everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You can follow us on social at Style for the Priv and at Priv Talks Podcast. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe, and don't forget to leave us a review. We're giving you 20% off when you shop our website with the code Priv Talks, all caps and no spaces. And lastly, pop over to our Facebook group for exclusive scoops, giveaways, events, and more. Trust me, you want to be there. See you next week. Bye.